Awesome. Hello, my beautiful people. It's Adriana, your host, back to Perspective Podcast, another amazing episode. So welcome back to Perspective Podcast, where we explore the stories that shift perspective and help us to inspire us through transformation. And today I have my amazing, such an honor, and I'm so excited and nervous in the same time to have today is joining us Lisa McCallum. She's a Young for Life mentor. She's a speaker and an author of an amazing book called Your Dreams First. And she's known to help individuals to prioritize self-care, to create a more confident life. Who doesn't want to have a more confident life? And also, she's been nominated for the Woman of Inspiration in Canada. And also, listen here, she has interviewed luminaries like Dr. Phil and Jillian Michaels. So welcome, Lisa. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
That was such an incredible introduction. Oh, thank you very much. It's my honor to be here today.
It's incredible, and let's tell our audience that we just met a couple of days ago.
I know.
And as soon as I saw her speaking, I'm like, I don't know how, but this amazing woman, I have to bring her in. I have to bring her in my circle, because you have not just an incredible story, but you bring resilience and you bring confidence, and you bring them in such a beautiful manner that nobody will know or think, how you got to where you got. And that takes me to asking you and to share with my audience, if you will, what was the story that helped you to shift your perspective to become the woman, the speaker, the author that you are today?
I think there's a lot of stories, actually, Adriana, but to narrow it down into one, I will go back to what my book is about, and that was very pivotal. So at that time, I was doing the Canada Ironman race, which is a huge triathlon. That was a lifelong dream of mine, and I was training for that. But also, I didn't feel right in my marriage anymore, and I didn't know what to do. I really didn't. I was raised Catholic, and that was just sort of the thought process at that time. Is you're in your marriage, you make everything work. That's just what you do. And I knew that, well, I thought that was my future. You stay and you keep working on it and work it out. But somebody said to me, you know what, Lisa, there's options. And I thought, what options? And she says, well, you could leave. That never dawned on me. Actually, it didn't. Anyways, to summarize that up, yes, going through this huge dream of mine to do this race and deciding to end my marriage at the same time were two huge things in my life. And I think that the strength from training built up my strength to make this decision. And it was all about, well, I've got to put myself first. And that's what my whole business is about, is making yourself your top priority. And there's a process with that. So yes, that was a huge pivotal moment for me in my trajectory since then. That's 11 years ago. And huge pivotal moment in my life.
Oh, I can relate so much with your story, because it's been what, 9-10 years ago when I decided to divorce and leave after 8 years of marriage. So that's why I'm like, when I met you, I'm like, I don't know what is about this woman, but I feel very attracted to her in many ways. And now, now understanding your story and listening your story, it makes sense. It is you. When you're in a certain type of mind, you think that that's all you know and that's how it should be. And you don't know that there are other ways. You don't have to stick with what you have learned. and it's important to sometimes to have someone, like you said, someone to take you out of your story and tell you there are other ways there. Why are you sitting just in this story? There's so many other stories you can create. What would be like the, say, in the midst of everything, now that you're on the other side, let's call it, what was the biggest lesson that you had to learn about yourself to help you to shift your perspective so you can shift your life and your story?
The biggest lesson I've learned is that and we hear it all the time, is about being true to oneself. But I'll take it a little bit further, because we can go through our entire lives looking back and thinking, well, I made that mistake. I should have known better. I should have listened to myself. Well, if I had listened to myself, I would have never got married, and I wouldn't have the 3 incredible children that I have and many other experiences. So the lesson for me is that, yes, listen to your gut, but we're human, and there's going to be times that we don't listen to our gut. That's just life. And the sequence happens after that. But we can zone in more and more and more throughout our lives as we, mature, to zone in on those feelings of, all right, what does feel right for me? And then making those decisions. But again, 20 years from now, will I say that these were the right decisions? So you just got to listen to yourself. That's my biggest lesson in all of this. Be true to yourself as best as you can, and those decisions are the right decisions.
Oh, so yes, so good when you start looking back of how many lessons you had to go through and how your messes became actually your mastery, because you have learned so much from them to be able to be the person you are today. As me and Lisa, we were at the event with JT Fox. I was like looking at you, I was looking at him speaking, and I had this like, I look at myself, I'm like, the person that I want to become is not the person I am today. And I saw you speaking and I saw him, and I'm like, I saw myself into you, and I'm like, this is the person, or something like that is the person I have to become to be able to handle that life responsibilities and so on. So how your life transformed is not just that changed you, but it changed so many people around you. How this impacted all the people around you and got you to want to serve so many people through your courses, through your book. And
all right, so how it's impacted others is because it puts me in a leadership role. Being true to myself, knowing what's right for me, then when I zone in on that, which has been a long process, and I continue to practice different things that help me be like that, then I can teach that to other people. Because if I don't do it myself, and I don't believe it myself and live by my rules, or whatever you want to call it, my ways of living, then, and believe that that's a great way of living, which I do, yeah, then how do I project that onto others? So by practicing that daily, it has impacted others. I've coached lots of people, and they see the kind of life that I lead and that I have, and they want that. They want those feelings. They want to be calm. They want to be peaceful. They want to do the things that are true to themselves, the things that they love in life, and be the best that they can be in every single area of their life. So I have to be that example, and then I can teach it. And it's rubbed off. I can see it in my children. They're high achievers. They know exactly what they want. They're all in their field of expertise already at a young age. They've zoned in on what's the best thing that they're connected to and making careers out of it. So that's the reflection as well. And people see that. So then they catch on. Well, what has she got? that I want. And how do I get that? So by doing it myself, then I can help other people.
Yes, yes. And one of the ways that you're doing that is through your mentoring, your coaching, and also through your book. So I like to just to a sneak peek of your book, Your Dreams First. It has the 5 lesson keys, and you speak about resilience. You speak about how you take care of yourself, not to feel alone. Especially after after a divorce, post divorce, or any adversity you going through, you feel like you lost and you need to find yourself. So you have to find that, to listen that intuition, like you said, to listen your gut, listen to your intuition, and have more compassion for yourself. Give us
Yes.
a little bit of like, what was the process that when you wrote that book, what was your own because I'm sure when you write the book, you're going through your own process, no?
Yes. Well, here's the book right here, Your Dreams First, if you can see it. The process of writing that book, well, anyone who does that large race usually winds up giving a synopsis of their experience from that day, and then send it out in an email or Instagram or whatever choice of social media they have, and tell everybody what that experience was like. And I knew that I could not put that into a little text and send that out. There's just no way. So what I started to do was write everything down. And I didn't even think of it as a book yet. Just I wanted to keep all of those notes so that I could remember these things and, yes, be able to share them. And then all of a sudden it dawned on me, I've got to get this in a book. So it was about a 5-year journey, I'd say, around that, where I just kept writing everything down, ideas, and then expanding on them. And then I wound up entering, it was a writer's workshop contest through Hay House, which is a huge publishing company in the United States. It's world-renowned publishing company. Lots of famous people have come from there and published books through there. So I thought, well, I'll go through this writer's workshop, which was phenomenal to help me put the book together. And then I found an editor and self-published. But the key thing in writing the book was the message, because I had to be, like, again, be true to myself, but I had to honor everything that I said that I was going to do in order to do that race. So I couldn't cheat myself. If I came up with a plan. So if I woke up that morning and didn't go to swim, well, then that's just cheating myself. So it was a great lesson for me when I put this program together, that if I want to guarantee myself to go across that finish line at the end, then I better do everything it takes to get there. Because I didn't want to cross that finish line or not cross it and say, well, you missed all those swims, you didn't do those bike rides, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. I wanted to know for myself 100% that I did everything that I was supposed to do to get me there, and then let it go. I did my part. So that's the lesson in all of that, and the impact that that has had for me, which I share as well.
Is stay true to your own word. And I think in one way, as I go through my own journey and I see all my clients too, I think that's the hardest thing to do, to stay true to yourself, because somehow you keep going back, when it gets too scary to it's like, oh, I can't, and then your brain is just like, let's go back to what we used to do.
Yes, that's exactly it. We're so comfortable with the known, what's over here. And that's what our nervous system is supposed to do, keep us comfortable, keep us safe. But the actual answer in life to experience things, get out of the unknown, go into the uncomfortable, which it was super uncomfortable. That's where the gold is. It truly is over here. And the only person that we're having this, what would I say, fight with is ourselves. It's that computer right here,
The
our
mind.
mind. So
Yeah.
either we're control of it, we're in control of it, or we're not. So it's
Yeah.
mastering that darn thing.
Yeah, it is so true, because even when we think of the word, we say my thoughts or my mind. So that means you are not the mind, you are not your thoughts. So then
Yes.
who you are? And most of us, we let the mind and the thoughts to rule our life and make decision for us when it's not even us. And I'm like, wait, what?
And who is it though, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
no,
Exactly.
it's
It's like literally our life is ruled by something that is not even ours, or it's not even us. It's
a
bonkers.
constant battle. It's a daily battle. It really is. But just trying something new, anything at all. Step over here. I know it's scary, but do it anyway. Just do it anyway.
I have that literally in my bathroom, says do it anyway in the mirror. So then every time I go there and I get scared, I'm like, just read it. I'm like, I hate myself for writing that, but in the same time, it helps to remind myself. You you did Ironman, you wrote books, courses, you went through so much adversity in your life that got you where you are today. What would be maybe one or two habits or practices that help you during to your own adversity, to keep you resilient, to keep you on the game, playing it, that you can share with the audience?
Okay, so I've got a few, and they are in my course because that is how I live my life. And that is, I always ask myself, what is it that I want, and what do I need, and what do I desire? What are those things? And then two, there's always something that you gotta let go, which we just talked about, that area over here. And often that's a person, someone that's bugging the shit out of you somehow, that's in your life, or an event, or an experience, something that's not serving you, whatever that is. And then we got to zone into the feelings that feel right, the feelings that don't feel right, and then doing what you love every single day. So for me, what do I love every single day? Well, I love getting up and I do my meditations and I do some readings as well. So that gets me going every single day. Some form of exercise. That's another thing. And especially in nature, getting outside for the walk, outside for the run. I don't have a treadmill, so I do all my runs outside, whatever weather that is. And no, sometimes that's not that fun, but it gets me out of the house, out of that mind that's keeping me stuck. So those, I also I have a 12-step program that I attend. It's an addiction program. So that has helped me as well tremendously. It keeps me grounded in my spirituality. So all those things together keep me grounded. Some days aren't so good. That's life. But if I keep doing those things on a consistent basis, I see progress. Definitely. So when I get off the rail, it's because I'm not doing those things. I have to take a look at myself and say, well, when's the last time you exercised? Did you do your readings? Did you attend your program? What are you doing here? Have you been out in nature? And it could sometimes, yeah, it's a couple of days. And I'm thinking, oh, I got to get cracking here. And also by making a plan. So I'm a big planner, a scheduler. I write everything out, and that way I can stick to it. So those are my things to help me get through everything.
I hope everyone is taking notes. I will literally listen this again and take notes of it. I'm like, one thing that stuck to me was like that you keep yourself accountable, like you call
Yes.
yourself out. That, I think, is a skill that every single person, that it's a must to have if you want to achieve anything in your life. It can,
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think it's so important because we're expecting other people, to keep us accountable, but why we cannot do that for ourselves? And all these habits and practices, um,
Mm.
actually people can find them in your course, no? Can you speak a little bit
Yes.
about your course?
Yes, so that's the name of the course. It's on my website, LisaMcCallumTalks.com. And if you go on there, actually you get a free questionnaire when you log in. And that gives a little bit of a synopsis of what the course is about. So the course goes into it a whole lot further with those 5 different things that I just said. So it's figuring out what you really want. And there's lots of ways that we can do that, and what you need and what you desire. The number one thing in most people's lives is they don't know what that is. They haven't got a clue. And it's not been taught in any school system that I'm aware of. So these are like life lessons. It's what you're living by, your daily life. Zoning in on those things. Then what is that story that keeps us stuck over here? What is that stuff that we've got to let go? And also, it's not like you can just say one day, all right, I'm done with that, and never think about it again, and it'll never enter your mind, and it will never bother you again. It's consistently letting go. But you do that by zoning in, and we go into great depth of all the different feelings that are out there that are right for you, that serve you. What do those feel like when you're doing something that you do love, that is true to yourself? And then zoning in on all the things that don't feel right for you and don't serve you. That way you can get that muscle knowing what is right for you. It helps you. It's a practice. And then let's start doing those things and incorporating them into your life every single day, in every single area of your life. Not just one, not just say nutrition. We're going to cover it all, from exercise, nutrition, your home, what you want your home to look like, your relationships, your job, your career, financial, spiritual, mental, emotional health, creativity, every single area, those 5 steps. And then you can be the best that you want to be and have a life where you're looking and feeling incredible. That's it in a nutshell.
I love it. I love that you are encapsulating all the areas of our lives, because what that makes us who we are and makes us, us feeling fulfilled and happy is by not just focusing on one. Okay, I'm just gonna take care of my nutrition, like you said, or my body, but everything else is lacking. It will, like, if say financially you struggle, doesn't matter if you have a great body, it will influence you. It will change the way, and it's what is always one is influencing the other one. And I love that you on set on top of each one of them. And the beauty of it, that you are helping people to keep them accountable before they are able to keep themselves accountable. Because it's true, on the beginning you need someone to do that. You need someone to be there and kind of nudge you and be like, hey, did you do your stuff? Did you do your exercises? Before you are able to create a new habit to rewire your brain. So that's incredible.
Yes.
Everybody
You got it in a nutshell. You
Yeah.
repeated it exactly back how it is.
So everybody that's listening this, you can connect with Lisa. We're going to drop, Lisa and myself, we're going to drop all the links and all the in the keynotes, in the shorts there. You will find all her information to connect, and you will want to connect with her, because as you can hear her speaking, she knows what she's talking about. She's been doing this, she's been playing this game called Life Focus.
My whole life I've been doing this. It's how I live. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that one. I really admire one thing, that is that you are a living proof that this works, and you are leading by example. Because there's so many people that's like, they trying to sell you certain habits, practices and things, but they ones that they don't do it, or they don't have results with it. And I always feel like integrity with your word and who you are and what you're doing reflects over other people, and other people getting inspired and by like she walks the talk, not just talk about it. And I really admire and love that about you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much. That's such a beautiful thing to say. Thank you.
And as we close this in, I would love to continue to talk with you. And also, I think I have a feeling that this is not going to be our last discussion. We're definitely going to dive deep, because I have some dive deep into conversation that they can be even more profound. As we close this, I have 3 fire questions that I ask all my guests.
Okay.
And one is that, what is one thing that every day you do to bring you joy?
One thing I do every day to bring me joy. When I wake up in the morning, I say, thank you for this day and all the blessings coming my way. That's how I start my morning every day.
Gratitude. I love that for sure. It's so many times I forget. I wake up and I get in the midst of it and I'm like, I think I forget something. No,
Just some gratitude.
Yeah, there's some gratitude. Question number 2: if you could have dinner with anybody, alive or dead, who would that be and why?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Lady Diana.
Yes.
Lady Diana. I've loved her my whole life, and I think she is such, oh my gosh, a glorious example who exudes confidence and being true to oneself. I mean, she was in the limelight and we saw what happened, and she made her decision and stuck to it. Love it. And said she's Queen of Hearts. I mean, oh, wow.
Yes.
Incredible. Love her. There's so many people. We could go on and on here for a long time, but I'll say her.
Yeah, that's why I love to add that question and then almost like be like a surprise, because whatever who comes first, I think that's what brings the originality and authenticity. Because every single time I think I can ask you this question later on or another time, and you will have a different person because it connects with who is inspiring you today. So I really love that. And my last question is, what would you hope your legacy to be?
Oh, I don't just hope. I want so badly for my legacy to be, as we put ourselves first, your dreams first, and make yourself your own top priority, then you know how to do it. Then we can teach it to our children. We can be that example to other people, to our spouse, our partner, others that are around us. And then they learn how to do that too. Rather than what I see and observe and experience in society in this day and age, people aren't doing that. They are pleasing everyone else, putting everyone else first, especially as a mother. And all that does is make the mother exhausted, not going after her own dreams because she's not doing it. And then the kids aren't following that footstep. There's too many privileged people, too many people that do not know these ways of living and these tools in order to get themselves unstuck and figure it out for themselves, because that's who is in charge of us, ourselves. Eventually, you got to leave the house and move onward, make your own money and do your own stuff. How are you going to take care of yourself and live your own life and go after your own things when it's all been handed to you? You got to do it yourself.
I love that. Yeah, and so much I love your book name, Your Dreams First. Because like you said, as mothers or anything, we've been taught from generation to generation to put everybody before us, and then you wake up in the midlife crisis and you're like, wait, I did this for everybody.
Yes.
I am. I don't even know who I am, what I want. And this is what Lisa can help you to guide you towards that. So if anything of this resonated with any of you listening this, you have to connect with Lisa. It's a must to connect with Lisa. She's walking the talk. She's there a leader to be lead by example, and her book, her course, and everything. It's a true proof of whatever she will guide you to will work if you do your own work.
Well, you
If
got to do the work.
and you do your own work for sure. It's been
Thank you.
absolutely such a pleasure to have you, Lisa. It's an honor, a pleasure. I'm so blessed and grateful that I met you a couple of days ago, and then here we are already. And definitely, I would love to bring you back on, because there's so many subjects that I would like to dive even deep with it. What we do now is just scratch the surface of the amount of experience and expertise you have that you can share with the audience and the world. So it's been absolutely a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And look at your podcast, what you're doing. You are a firecracker and you're changing the world. So people keep listening to your podcast.
Thank you so much. It's I decided to do this. I've been wanting to do this for 2 years, and I've been chicken out and, worried. And I'm like, I'm just going to do it.
Just do it.
Messy, just messy, but I'm going to do it.
Good
and
for you.
Thank you so much. And
Okay.
thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for listening this Perspective podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please share, subscribe with all your friends. And remember, in the end, everything is just a perspective. Thank you so much, Lisa, everyone. And I will see you next time.
Thank you.